I haven't been able to win a game yet, unfortunately. Like I get pretty close. I'm doing really bad this round.
Let's start the podcast.
All right.
Is this not the podcast?
What? Welcome to the
Did you go by?
Everybody Looking Inside Gaming podcast for January 5th. That can't be right. That's not right at all.
No, it's
That's
not.
the wrong day.
It's the 6th.
6th. No.
No, the
Thursday.
podcast is the 8th.
Yeah, the
8th.
Yeah.
Where are we? We're really rusty.
Oh, man, fuck this.
All right, see you later.
This is what
the podcast.
This is what happens when you take a break.
January 8th, 2015. New year. Wait, it wasn't your last podcast. Damn it, shit.
I like that the Asperger's and the
was,
Tourette's
yeah.
are both kicking in.
It was the first, yeah.
Hold on, let me collect myself. Okay, Adam, aside from winning a goal of gun game,
Yeah.
what is one of your goals, personal goals for this year?
Oh boy.
What are?
I want to do something. I want to make something that is not comedy, that I'm not in, and is outside my comfort zone.
Boo! That sucks.
Stupid.
Well, that's really stupid.
I do that like once a year. I try something different and new, and I never succeed.
He wants to make an indie film.
Yeah, he's going to make an art film.
If you take an especially curvy shit, does that count?
It could, but I might be disappointed in it.
Oh, man, that sounds awesome, though.
Oh, good
It's like you have a real son that you're disappointed in, and then you flush him down the toilet, just like a real child.
work out. You're doing it.
This episode of the Inside Gaming Podcast is brought to you by NatureBox.
Good segue.
All right,
Okay.
thank you. Pretty good at those. NatureBox is a subscription service that will send you all natural treats through the mail every month. Didn't you give me credit for that?
I don't think he was actually playing.
It's a pretty easy service to sign up for. Just go to naturebox.com/inside. You can either fill out a flavor profile and let them select snacks for you, or just freeball it. Let them send you whatever they want, which I recommend. Nothing like a good surprise for 2015. I know a lot of you resolutioners out there are probably telling yourself you're going to start eating right. One of the things you can do is stop eating junky snacks like chips. Trade that up for almonds and stuff. Plus, it's more fulfilling, and your poops will be better. So, naturebox.com/inside if you are interested in that sort of thing.
Don't underestimate better poops. I know we're all laughing, but seriously, don't laugh.
Your
No,
quality
better
of life
poops,
will
better
increase
poops are the best poops.
drastically.
Yeah.
All right. So, first discussion topic we got for the day.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of moving and shaking going on in the games media world.
Yeah, I just discovered Counter-Strike.
Yeah, Adam discovered it.
It's like, I love this game.
And Tube Filter has not shut up about it. Basically, so the biggest news to start off with, Greg Miller et al. That includes Colin Moriarty, that's small text.
Nick Scarpino.
And Tim Geddes, yeah.
Is Moriarty his real last name?
Yes, he's a villain.
I'm just asking.
He's very good at mysteries. Or making mysteries.
No, making
Anyway.
mysteries. Killing people.
Is that like on someone's resume? Like, what are you good at? Making mysteries?
I'm going to change my name to James Hounds of the Baskervilles.
That's good. That's really good.
You're
Not
not fitting that on a driver's license.
No.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Take the
Sorry.
SAT. They've officially left IGN.
Yes, they have.
They've founded Kinda Funny Games. What is that?
Yeah, kind of
Yes.
funny games.
Don't
You
sell
are
yourself short, guys.
I always second guess myself when the words aren't in front of me because I never want to be wrong because the internet calls you out immediately. At any rate,
correct. They can't spell words, so it's okay. Don't worry.
well, that doesn't stop them. And so their new Patreon, which they have launched, just this week.
Yeah, just a few days ago,
It's
right?
already at $13,600, which is going to be delivered to them every month.
That's crazy.
And that's in addition to their previous Patreon just for their Kinda Funny Games podcast, which is now at $14,900 per month.
Whew. Good for them.
Yeah, seriously.
Good for them.
It's worth noting, though, they were doing a podcast, or they were doing a Patreon while they were still working at IGN, I believe.
Yes.
So the writing was always kind of on the wall. Like, I'm friends with Greg.
Yeah, they did their tone.
But I never asked him. I didn't want to assume, but I saw it was going that way. And I'm like, yeah, of course he's going to want to, once this thing, once it's a better option for him, of course it's going to go.
Yeah.
So I wish him the best, honestly. I think he's going to be doing great stuff.
So far, so good for them right now. I mean, in terms of money.
They haven't had a lot of time to mess anything up, but yeah.
You're really loud.
I'm really far away from the mic.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. Tool.
So their media promises are about the same as any new media outlet. New podcasts, gameplay videos, discussions, live streams, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And then the other bit of a headline here is that Hamza Aziz, CEO of Destructoid, has left the company.
Yes.
To pastures unknown, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't know where he's going, right?
No idea.
Wow.
But this is very notable because, and also a little while ago, not quite wrapped up in all this news, but Jim Sterling opened up his Destructoid, went independent. It's doing pretty well.
Well, he left Destructoid, went to Escapist.
No, he's just fully independent now.
No. I'm saying he went to Escapist and then went independent.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Because he was doing I forget exactly how that all works because.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact sequence of moves, but he bounced around a little bit.
But these are big
on his own.
these are big names in the games industry,
And
right?
Boys Club.
it's all happening in just a couple of months, which is
Oh,
sort of-
within like days.
well for IGN
Yeah.
and Destructoid, but I mean for Jim Sterling, things like that. It's it's interesting that it's all happening right now.
So what does that mean for the publications?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to talk about.
Yes, exactly. well, first of all, I think the interesting question here is from our audience's perspective, as this is starting to change kind of the relationship between audience and content creator and content financier. So the old system was there would be a management group that would deal with like ad sales and things like this. They would bring in the money and then they would pay content creators to make content to get the eyeballs against which the ads would be sold. Kind of a harmonious relationship. Ultimately, the consumers didn't have to pay anything; they just had to sit through an ad or two. Kind of like this.
And it was understood that if you watched the content with the ads, you were supporting whoever made the content.
Exactly.
Right.
But now, over the last year, and specifically in the last week, we've seen examples of people who used to work under that system now moving directly to a consumer-funded model.
It's almost subscription based,
Yeah,
but
a little bit.
Patreon seems to be the middleman.
Yeah. They are kind of the new organization, oddly. They're the new group of people. And instead of selling ads, it's the people consuming the content paying the content creators directly.
All right.
And it seems to me that the audience is much more willing to pay content creators directly than sit through an ad or two, which is an interesting kind of change. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Right. Oh, it's kind of interesting. Like you look at the kind of funding numbers. They're not huge, but it doesn't matter because they're being funded. Like it's like PBS. It's like you don't have to hit a view goal or anything like that because the 20,000 people watching it are the 20,000 people paying you every week. So it's kind of like that's got to be liberating. That's kind of nice.
Well, yeah, it does. It ostensibly gives you complete freedom from the throes of advertising concern.
Yeah.
It allows you to say whatever you want to say, to just be authentic to your audience.
It's what's interesting about that model though is what happens if you want to extend your audience? What happens if you want to? You're like, you know what? Now I want 30,000 people to watch.
Yeah.
Well, then what do you do? And that's sort of like that. I think that's kind of where YouTube comes in and larger platforms like free viewing. And that's why there are a lot of people we know. I think Rooster Teeth is a good example of the fact where you can get the content for free, but it's later than if you paid for the subscription.
Right. Like if you want the podcast, for those who don't know, like you go to Rooster Teeth's site, and if you're a sponsor, I forget how much it is. It's like $20 a year or something. That may change. I don't know. But you can listen to the podcast early.
Right.
So that's like it's a good model.
Yeah,
I think it's
that
kind of
seems
cool.
like a pretty good compromise, I think, between the two.
Yeah.
So one thing I'm curious about, and we in this room can't really answer this, is the people that consume games, meaning gamers, typically or so far seem to be expressing that they would rather pay the content creators directly than have to sit through ads.
Yeah.
Which is kind of it's interesting to me. But to what Joel brought up before is what does this mean for the IGNs of the world? People that did employ and organize content creators who are now learning that they don't need them anymore, maybe.
And who currently rely on advertisers and like sales staffs. Well, is that even necessary anymore? And if it's not necessary, if games journalism, and I think that IGN and Destructoid can be still described as whatever games journalism means,
Is or was.
which we kind of
They're still that.
They're still that. So like,
Right.
if those all become, if games journalism becomes fan funded, you are still beholden to an audience. It's a different audience.
Correct.
You know, from one aspect, it's the advertisers who want you to say whatever about their products. And for another, it's about the audience. If you alienate them with a bad review or a negative thing about your favorite game, because we know that you fucking go apeshit when we talk about Destiny. Like,
it's been a while.
Would that mean that people would de-Patreon you? Probably.
Yes, yeah.
It's
Interesting.
a very
Not
interesting
only
conundrum.
that, but they would attack anyone that was even related to you, as a certain hashtag has proved. And that's something that's terrified me about this model as a content creator. It's like, you make one wrong tweet, and actually Total Biscuit had to deal with this. You make one wrong tweet at an inconvenient time, and then you go to the hospital, and you can't deal with it for 6 hours. The internet boils over, and when you come back, people that you thought were your supporters and fans are howling for you to die.
Oh my god.
Basically, yes.
That's awful.
It's-
The Lawrence
I didn't want
autobiography.
you to die.
I just said
I
that in a
just
tweet.
wanted you to disappear
But you
in
knew it
a
would be a
bottomless
joke.
pit full of vipers.
It's interesting in this time because we all come from working for the big boys, like whether it's G4 or Machinima or whatever.
Big boys.
But it's
Big
like
boy shout-outs.
this idea is interesting where like a good example is like us, where people go, F the man, but I really like Inside Gaming. It's usually like that, or like fuck Inside Gaming, but I really like Steven Larson. And it's like, okay. It's kind of interesting where they're like, I only want to support this. And that's kind of where it's going. So it's like the IGNs and the Destructoids and that sort of things, like as the personalities become more important, what happens to the content?
It's also tied back to the cable TV conundrum.
Yeah,
like
you know,
people just want the channels that they want, that they know they're going to watch,
Right.
and not all the extra BS that comes along with it. So
Well, even
that's,
more than that. Now instead of just the channel, it's now becoming, I want to watch this one show.
oh yeah.
Let me pay $5 a month, and I want to watch It's Always Sunny, and that's it.
And
Yeah.
YouTube inadvertently, I think, trained the audience and most of the world, to be honest with you, into this model, especially the younger generation, because now, like you said, they could just go to one place for one thing and then move on to the next place for that next thing. And it's not like this giant network of, it's got 7 personalities you want to watch all together. We know that doesn't work. Because, like, for example, we're all together on one channel. Like, we are not like, I'm sure James could find some people. I'm sure Adam could find some. I'm sure I could find some people.
I got people.
But I know you got a few people. But
Spool's going to outlive all of us.
But our audience is, that's true. Spool's already a millionaire because of Twitch. But our audience is all focused here. And if we start splitting, like let's say we all split up tomorrow and decided not to do Inside Gaming, but less, and then we each had our own channel.
Right.
We
We'd split the audience, and then it wouldn't be so focused. It wouldn't be.
Yeah, that's more what you're describing. Sounds more like a Creature Hub sort of thing.
Yeah,
like what
exactly.
they're doing.
Yogscast or something?
Yep.
Or Yogscast, where they all kind of
Collective. But they all do their own thing and only occasionally get together for a big power.
Yeah, which I don't know.
I mean, if you condition your audience to want that, then that's awesome.
It takes a long time, but yeah, and it's the same with like the transitioning from cable TV to the internet. Is like it took a long time to go from network television to cable television, and going from cable television to the internet is going to take another 20 years probably to get the advertising dollars needed to make the internet actually work the way it should.
According to Netflix, they said 17 years? Or like cable's gonna be dead in 17 years. That might be biased because it's from Netflix, but
That's about right. It sounds like a realistic estimate.
Yeah, I was about to say, they're not saying in 5, which I'd be like, no.
Yeah, right.
Well,
20 years?
I think what happens with that, I know we're getting a little off topic here, but I think what happens with that is what you see with like cell phones and MP3 players. They just become the same thing. So what you know as television is going to become a really weird mix of DVR, on-demand, live events, all that stuff. So it's like,
Nice.
you're not going to notice it. Like, it's just going to be this convenient thing that works, but it's going to be your internet, and it's all going to be like streaming.
On that note, I do wonder, aside from YouTube kind of being the content provider, and this is again, and Rooster Teeth is kind of an interesting outlier here, YouTube does seem to be the meeting ground for the people that produce games media nowadays. The podcast is really the only other way, or Twitch. But it seems like, correct me if I'm wrong here, I'm trying to draw parallels between old TV and like what's happening now. Basically, it's strange because you have completely fan-funded content, but it's premiering on a service that...
You're talking about YouTube?
Yeah.
So we had an interesting conversation with Kevin Pereira last time he was in here, and he said something that kind of opened up my eyes a little bit. He said YouTube is a billboard, but it's free advertising. I was like, oh, that's a good way of looking at it. Like the way he was describing is like relying on a service like YouTube is bad, which is the way I felt for a long time. I love YouTube. I think it's great. There's a lot of eyeballs on it, but it's dangerous to be tied to something where your channel can get taken down for a false copyright claim. And so many people are like complaining, being like, well, I'm just going to leave YouTube. And everyone's like, yeah, right. You're going to leave YouTube. Good luck.
Yeah, nobody's going to do that.
But then you bring up Rooster Teeth, who has her own website, has like a sponsorship thing. And then you're seeing these Patreon things where like YouTube just doesn't really matter so much.
Well, I don't know about that one. But
I mean, it now all of a sudden you just have a small group of people who are hungry for your content. I wanted to knife him,
but
damn
again,
it.
like I'm sure Rooster Teeth discovered, in order to extend your audience,
Yeah.
you have to.
Oh, sure. I'm not saying YouTube hurts you. I'm just saying to rely on it could be dangerous.
Do not murder him.
I don't know. Someone stole my kill.
Yeah, I mean, of course it can be dangerous, but the fact of the matter is that 96% of all video content on the internet is on YouTube.
Of course.
So it's like in the world.
It's also the second largest search engine in the
That's
world.
true.
That's right. Yeah. So
Because it's owned by the world's biggest.
the world's biggest search engine, right?
Yeah, so it's the rich keep getting richer.
So to kind of
in
bring it back
regard.
to the original discussion point, do you guys see any downside to moving to a fan-funded model aside from a potential witch hunt and eliminating your revenue overnight?
Yes.
Yes.
I definitely do.
Go ahead, Joel.
Because when you're beholden to your audience even more so. Like, you're beholden to your audience as a content creator in that you need to make stuff that people want to watch. And as an example of a bad thing that could happen, I'm going to use the Inside Gaming channel.
Hey.
Gasp! I'm holding a mirror up to ourselves.
Oh, no.
My pimples.
We were doing a lot of Sims gameplay, and for us, it felt like it was getting tired. We were getting tired of it. We felt like we had mined it for everything that we could give. The audience was kind of diminishing, but our hardcore fans wanted us to continue to produce it. My concern with and because we were able to cease production on that, we were able to find a lot more other interesting, fun games to play, new series to work on,
Like Chaser and Chrome.
Right. Well, but I'm worried under a fan funding model that if we stop playing, for example, The Sims or Chaser when we got tired of Chaser, even though we eventually finished it, that then people would unsubscribe from the fan funding, and that would affect our revenue. Whereas now, that's not the case. We're able to make creative risks that the audience might not immediately like, but in time will come to love because those risks sort of start to pay off over time.
And like you're saying, the risk for the audience to subscribe to a YouTube channel is so low that it doesn't matter. So of course, like they're not paying into a YouTube channel at this point. So they can come check on us and see what we're doing. They're like, oh, they're not doing Sims, no big deal. I'll come back and check next week. But if they pay $5, I'm like, where the fuck are my Sims?
Unsubscribe.
We're gone.
I think the big
Or money
takeaway is all things in moderation, right? Isn't the ideal situation one where you can allow an audience to pay more for specifically what they want from you, which I don't. It's a weird thing, but I feel like you have to find some sort of middle ground.
That's what
right?
Rooster Teeth has done.
Yeah.
I mean, I still argue that the audience, and I respect. You have to, as a content creator, you have to respect your audience, and I think that we do respect our audience, and that we give them a lot of times like things that aren't exactly what they want, but we know that they'll like eventually.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is this balancing act of the audience thinks that they know better than us. Than not just us, but any creator. Oh man, J.J. Abrams, he better do this in Star Wars or he's gonna be bullshit. Well, then why aren't you directing Star Wars? Like, that's what I want.
Well, we know why he's
It's
not.
nepotism.
No,
I did
that's,
that fan video.
Yeah.
that's
Got
right.
nearly 500 views.
That sweet fan video of Star Wars episode
Well,
7.
that's you. For the longest time, I remember just seeing all these comments on YouTube of like, "Hey guys, I play a lot of Minecraft and Call of Duty. Check out my channel." It's like, you son of a bitch, you're only playing those games because you know they drive views because the YouTubers you follow play those. Every time we've played something, we're like, "Hey, let's play The Sims." I was like, "I love The Sims. It's so great." We're like, "Yeah, we kind of hate The Sims." Like, but you should play it. We're like, "No." And they're like, "Well, fuck it, I'm out again." We're kind of like, whatever. We get paid the same every week, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Okay, fine, I guess I'll stay because your other videos are funny." And I'd rather you guys be genuine than, dance monkey dance, as much as Joel makes us do that.
And again, low risk on the audience's side because they're just subscribed to a YouTube channel.
I also think there is a flip side of that though, where it could be like playing Sims. At the end of it was pretty painful, right? Playing Chaser was extremely painful, but I think that there are scenarios that we know which are worse, which are, hey, this company really wants us to make a video for them where we, put our balls on the ground and then a woman stomps on our balls.
Right, Dark Souls.
And then we hold up their product.
Funny joke.
And so like those are the kinds of situations you can get into with people that don't know what you do at all, that just look at a number. So again, I think
At least the audience knows what we're doing, right?
yeah, at least the audience
They get the tone.
They get at least a portion of it, and they know that really well, and they know what they love about it. So I think that's always a good thing.
I always like that we can be honest when we're like, "Hey, Mountain Dew gave us money, not us specifically. They gave it to our parent company. So
To our mom and dad.
but we have to do this because whatever." And we have fun with it, and no one hates us for it.
Well, yeah, I mean that's part of what we've kind of stood up for, which is going like, hold on, if you want us to do this, we're going to need to do it a certain way.
Yeah.
Like,
I like just being transparent and telling the audience, "Look, we're going to sell out, but we're going to tell you we're selling out, and we're going to laugh about
we're going
it."
to sell out because we want to.
Yeah. Well, because we like our jobs, and at the end of the day, we get to make funny videos.
Well, yeah, also at the end of the day, whenever we've sold out, we're going to be happy with whatever we give to you to consume.
That's sort of our pledge
afterward.
to the audience. There's also one other question that I constantly see. I think I see once a week on the subreddit or on Twitter or something, which is always like, "When are you guys going to leave Machinima?" And the answer is, we have no idea. Like, we don't know if we're going to leave or not. it's one of those things where, as it stands right now, what we're doing is working, and we are doing it under the company name of Machinima, and they don't get in our way in terms of creative content. They don't. In my opinion, that's a really, really good relationship, because I've been in other relationships, creative relationships, where they're constantly stepping in.
It's a really ideal situation where, they pay our salaries, and I would say to a 97% degree, they give us free reign over the content, over the news that we cover, over almost everything. Only rarely will somebody come in twice I think last year did somebody ever come in here to our office and say, guys,
And we said, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Turned out they were lost.
Because the pizza guy,
They thought we were finance.
You know where the bathroom is?
Yeah. Fuck you.
Go, I just want to poo.
It's in the corner.
Yeah, you piece of shit. Stopping my... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
There's just one X factor with all this that hasn't shaken out yet, and I'm very curious to know. But if you have a Patreon and that money's coming directly to you, there's a big number on the internet that is exactly how much you get paid.
That's true.
And typically, in business, no one knows what anyone else gets paid because it predicates some very uncomfortable discussions and some very bad politics. So I'm curious what will happen when somebody makes a video and they're getting $15,000 a month and it's just them, and they try to paint themselves as like the scrappy dude who's just in the basement. And then everybody goes to Patreon and is like, fuck you, dude, you're set.
Yeah, you're making a shitload of money.
I think if the content's enjoyable and it's what they want, they don't care, because PewDiePie is the perfect example where he is a millionaire. But he comes up as a pretty...
advertised. That's not advertised. That's something that a lot of people don't know.
Oh, that's true.
And I remember when we first brought that up in on one of the Inside Gaming dailies with Social Blade, people in the comments were like, holy fucking shit, this dude's a millionaire.
I also would wager that his audience skews a bit younger too.
Oh yeah,
sure. Yeah.
So
money's whatever their dad gave them.
It is easy for us. We're all in our early 20s.
I'm 48.
Good job, Bill.
Early 20s. Jeez. What's up, Briz?
I can't wait until Joel becomes an old man trying to convince everyone he's younger than he is.
You guys want to go out for my 21st birthday?
No, we're on our late 20s, early 30s, and it's easy for us, I think, to become almost like myopic into, everyone knows about YouTube, everyone knows about the platform. You can look at a video and estimate how much it's making.
Yeah, they don't know.
But only we have to remind ourselves that only really we can do that, because I've been working on YouTube for 4.5 years. Adam's been here for 10 years.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, almost nobody.
I'm only 21.
Can't blame anyone for this, but almost nobody knows how the money flows in the YouTube space, where it goes, or who has it.
It seems like magic.
And it is.
Well, it's funny, and every once in a while you see that one guy who goes, hey guys, listen, this is how it works. 1 view equals $1, and you're like, no. And they're like, 1,000 views equals $1. It's like, no, that's what it was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It changes every day. And
it's very
not to tip our hat too hard, but every single person in this room is YouTube certified. We have I'm just saying we've gone through the YouTube test that basically is like, how do you YouTube? And we're like, we know how to YouTube. And YouTube says, sorry, I know I'm trying to
see him right before he nails you.
Hello.
I don't like to look at
There. Oh, like I saved you.
Did I get it? No. I didn't get it. So just to peel the curtain back a little bit, YouTube actually doesn't give a shit about views, and they don't give a shit about likes. So every time Joe Blow, Call of Duty player goes, give me a like, it really helps me out. No, it does not. Likes mean nothing. They got rid of that system a long time ago. They keep it there because it's there, whatever, but it comes down to watch time. Well, you get paid more on a video.
Hold on,
based on watch time.
Bruce is right to say,
hold on. It doesn't actually come down to any one factor, and that's the important part. So engagement, views, and watch time are all. It actually does. It actually does.
Fundamentally, it's very complicated.
Well, there's an algorithm, yes, but what it comes down to, I'm saying, if there's a video that has 1 million views, but people only watched 5 seconds of the 2-minute video, it's not going to make any money. I'm saying if 100% of those people closed out because it was just a picture of some dude's dick, and only James watched it. They're not going to make any money.
They're going to make 1 view.
It's still based on a CPM model where they have to get 1,000 views to equate to whatever that's going to be. But when you see videos got 1 million views, that guy must be a millionaire. It's like, no, he's not.
Yeah, that's not true either, right?
Yeah, so there's a real big misconception of people who are YouTube experts because their friend plays Call of Duty, and it just doesn't work that way.
Well, we are in exciting times. Audience, I'm curious to know what you think. Whether you would whether you would rather advertising support your content or pay for it directly. Don't write it in Twitch chat. I won't see it. But once this goes up on YouTube, kindly leave a comment and let me know what your opinions are. I'm actually very curious about this. So moving on, this podcast is sponsored by NatureBox. And we have the return of Real Snack, Fake Snack.
All right.
All right, here we go. One of these items is a real NatureBox snack, and the other one is completely made up.
Okay.
We've got Lemon Pucker Pistachios and Mango Meringue Melody.
The mango one's
Mango's
fake.
real.
Mango's real.
Oh,
Mango's
boy.
real.
Wait, what's the first one?
Lemon Pucker Pistachios.
That sounds like such a Lawrence
Mango
thing.
what?
Mango Meringue Melody.
Yeah.
Lawrence,
Mango meringue
meringue.
melody.
Lawrence likes alliteration.
The way Lawrence just said mango meringue melody, it sounded like he'd never said it before.
Or he just
means-
thought of it.
Which means, oh fuck, you just thought of it.
Ooh, such a mind game. isn't it?
I think Lemon Pucker is funnier to Lawrence. I think that's a funnier thing to Lawrence.
I actually agree.
So he liked the term pucker, and so I'm going lemon, or the mango meringue
real
is
one.
a real
James
one.
has convinced me. That's
Okay.
an astute observation.
So you guys think Adam?
I think mango's fake.
Mango Meringue Melody is fake.
Bam!
James, you led us astray.
Lemon pucker pistachios.
The other thing I
It
know.
sounds so.
All right,
buttery.
okay, but the only reason Lawrence knows what that is probably because he's ordered it, because it had that.
I don't have it yet.
God damn
I had to
it!
go to NatureBox's website.
I don't even know
scroll
you.
through until I found something that sounded fake. So if you want some lemon pucker pistachios, which is a real thing,
so good.
Lawrence has got a food rhyming thesaurus, alliterative
Mango
thesaurus.
right here, baby.
Yeah.
Mango meringue melody.
You know how they have those web? Oh no, keep going. I'll tell you at the end.
Meringue sounded.
Go to naturebox.com/inside, where you can get lemon pucker pistachios and any number of other amusingly named foods that I'm sure are delicious. Again, that's naturebox.com/inside. Thank you for sponsoring this podcast.
We've seen a lot of.
Also, when you tweet us, please tag
NatureBox, yeah.
They actually retweet and
They
they
love
like
it.
they
They
like
love
when
it.
you guys do that stuff.
Yeah.
So please let us know, and it shows that you're
Engaged.
You're engaged. You watch our stuff, and that's good for us because that means
It's about the love.
we don't have to do a Patreon.
Sounded like spool.
That's exactly the point.
I should have knifed him.
Okay, so the next topic comes from someone on the Inside Gaming subreddit.
Hello.
Mr. Trent Bradway suggested a topic for the podcast, and I think it's a fantastic one. And also, given the timing of this podcast,
Did he just discover Counter-Strike 2?
he did. Like, how do I win gun game, Adam?
You shoot the guys
No, you
good.
can't answer because you never won.
Damn it. It's true.
He writes, I would love to see this discussed in depth on a podcast, perhaps Q&A. I know it was briefly touched on in a podcast, but I'd love to see much further discussion of it. Why do you guys think that sloth almost goes hand in hand with gaming today? EA.
Or wait, did we just blame EA? What?
No,
Yes.
to DEA. It seems that even big games like Call of Duty are fully aware of this and promote it further, i.e. promoting cannabis, Mountain Dew, Doritos, and etc. He's referring to like a weed leaf skin that you can have on your nose.
Right.
Like a lazy lifestyle.
Smoke
Yeah.
weed every day.
Do you think that this is something that hinders the mainstream view of gamers and gaming, or something that we should collectively try and disassociate gamers as a whole with the common view? Thanks for reading. That's a very interesting topic. I'll just throw it to the line.
I think it goes hand in hand with the assumption that all gamers are guys. And it's because this is the people who, for whatever reason, over the course of the last 3 decades, have been
Marketed to?
mostly purchasing. Like, I'm sure Doritos would stop sponsoring Call of Duty if they didn't notice that more people were buying Doritos along with Call of Duty.
They have a lot of market
It's kind of like
research.
NatureBox.
Yeah, they have a lot of
Like,
market research.
You guys seem to like NatureBox. That you would probably stop hearing them as the sponsor on this podcast if none of you gave a shit about NatureBox
Right,
and didn't like it.
And who says Mountain Dew is associated with sloth? All the commercials are like snowboard and action
Yep,
gents.
that's true. That's true.
Except
Those
there's
are the executives. That's what they do with your Mountain Dew
Yeah.
can.
Hey, Brad, Joel here.
But I can say, as someone who holds fitness or whatever you want to call it in pretty high regard, I'm met with a lot of surprise from the gaming community for that fact. So I imagine there must be something to it. There must be some sort of reason that most people think that just because this requires sitting down and only moving a fraction of an inch, that's all you have to do with
Look,
your
I'm
whole
sweating
life.
balls right
Well,
now. This is a lot of work.
I also think it's a stereotype holdover from the days when video games was like were a fairly inaccessible, super dorky hobby.
Right,
Where
exactly.
like you only were able to do it really if you had a PC or were able to spend like if you were dedicated enough to spend a few $100s on Nintendo in the 1980s, which was super expensive back then.
Yeah.
And only dorks did that. Everybody else was playing lacrosse or.
I think the stereotype's going to
Big
go away
girls.
in the next 5 years, and the
Yeah.
reason I say that is because right now there's still a lot of people that are like in the public spotlight that are just giant fat dudes, and then and we're like, you know, like they're like, oh, of course, typical gamers. Like Big Bang Theory still reinforcing the nerd stereotype.
Shape.
Well, that's also,
But they're TV
as James calls it, that's
Skinny.
that's
Those
nerd.
they're not in shape.
That's nerd blackface.
Beat you up.
Yeah.
Blackface.
But I think that in the next, like I said, the next 5-6
gonna hate
years,
this thing.
eventually you start seeing that. Like honestly, everybody's playing games.
Yeah.
Women are playing games. Men are playing games.
Basketball players
Kids
are
are
playing games.
Basketball
Roosters.
players. Roosters are playing games. There's that. That's the sort of the thing that we're seeing over time that a lot of people in our audience want to deny. Like we will report on that mobile games are getting bigger than
Oh, yeah.
console games, and they're like, no way, mobile games are not games. That's bullshit.
That's a really interesting thing to touch on because their complaint is always they're not real gamers, and I think that's kind of the heart of the issue. There is a kind of gaming culture that is kind of embraced by a certain sect that thinks they own gaming, which is spend all of your time playing games, spend all your time talking about games, and if you do any less, you're not a real gamer because you're not really dedicated.
Yeah.
And I do agree that part of that comes from the 80s where gaming was inherently antisocial unless you had somebody sitting next to you.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
no, it's
now
not
gaming's
entirely
online,
social.
Adam's playing with a ton of people, but it is a
not
holdover
talking to
from
them.
when to be dedicated
They're all
to
assholes.
this pastime, you had to not move and sit in an empty room by yourself for a long amount of time.
Oh, what empty room?
You put up like posters
walls,
or like
sure.
a anime pillow girl.
Oh, yeah. Throw an Afghan across that couch.
But it is kind of a badge of pride for gamers, probably young ones, because they don't treat their bodies right, to brag about how late they stayed up playing games, or that I beat Metal Gear in one sitting,
Is it?
eating
Yeah.
nothing but Easy Mac. And
I mean,
Pop-Tarts.
I could see that as being a brag thing. I think also part of it too is video games are one of the few ways almost every single scenario, you have an avatar that represents you, which isn't you at all. So if you're always playing and running around as a soldier, a badass soldier who can run for hours and hours and hours and jump high and do everything, maybe you're going to
Turn into
start
a raccoon.
not thinking about it. Maybe you're going to be less concerned about your ability to do that
Yeah.
because you can just turn on a system and do it anyway.
Right.
So
Well, I think the other thing too, this is worth noting, it is not cheap to eat healthy all the time.
I disagree
disagree.
wholeheartedly.
Totally disagree.
This is
fat logic.
That's
this
that's
is
not true
this
at
is an
all.
argument I hear all the time, where it's like, okay,
It's
I know-
not
I know-
easy.
no,
Here's what it is.
no way.
hear me out.
Let's hear Adam out. Let's hear him out.
From a marketing standpoint, I know it is easier to get a 99-cent cheeseburger
Yeah.
than it is to get a healthy salad from like
Exactly.
tender greens that cost $9.
Easier
Now,
doesn't- is-
now I'm saying this as devil's advocate because we all know you can eat healthy for relatively cheap. Like
Totally.
there's a way to do it. I mean, it's also just called
Go to the
starving.
grocery store and
Yeah.
cook for yourself.
Oh, well, let
that out.
me drop this bomb on you. Your weight is directly proportional to the amount of calories you consume versus the calories you expel. Thus, if you only want, if you want to spend, no, genetics has nothing.
I have
to do with
gout.
I
If you want to eat a 99-cent cheeseburger, 99 cents, you can. You just have to accommodate that it will be higher calorically
600
than if you eat a
calories.
salad,
Right, yeah.
salad or something. So there are plenty of people, like, trust me, I've done this long enough to see plenty of different fitness routines and things people do to be jacked and get in shape, like all across the range. And there are people who can eat McDonald's and then go compete in bodybuilding competitions.
I'm one of
Like
them.
it's possible. Joel's one of them.
Joel also doesn't really gain weight. He just gets like kind of a small gut.
I think what
He's got a
Whoa,
McDonald's
jeez.
rolling right now.
Well, no, I'm just saying he doesn't.
Scoliosis.
Carbo loading.
I think what Adam is saying is that fast food is the easiest to get because it's everywhere, and it's also the cheapest to get because it's everywhere. So
It's also marketed the best.
well, that's because again it's everywhere. So it's like one of those things where yes, that is the easiest way to get a lot of calories for very cheap. And of course that goes along with being 18 to 24.
Yes.
And that's sort of the thing is that like, it's funny that this is sort of a point I was going to wrap in with the other stuff with fitness in terms of video games is that it's all about just going down the middle. Don't do one thing a lot. Don't play video games a lot. Make sure you sort of balance it out with going outside or working out or, dating a girl or a guy or something. It's all about just being, what's the word? What's the word I'm thinking of?
Diverse?
Not
Moderate?
diverse.
Balance?
Moderate. Everything in moderation. Yes,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you. And that's
Except moderation.
except moderation.
Moderation.
Going
Go
full
all out in
moderation.
moderation.
Go all-
100% moderate.
and I get the same with fast food. Eat fast food. If you like fast food, eat it once a week.
I think we've said this before. There is a way to manipulate that drive. Everything that a video game, especially something like this, makes you feel, manipulate it, turn it into something in your real life. Like, that is a very powerful tool if you can turn that corner, and it's not that difficult.
Well, we do it with work all the time because we see numbers going up and it's like leveling up or something
Yeah,
like that. Like, you can gamify your life if you want to.
The thing you just have to be aware of is the feedback loop takes longer in real life. So if you're starting a new diet or you're starting to work out, you're not going to level up in a day. It takes
Also,
about 6 weeks.
there's no killer guitar.
Oh,
Rocking
yeah,
out
there is. Are you kidding?
Three
Sure got an
chord
app.
solo.
I'm sure there's an app, yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's awesome.
So in the spirit of that, and I kind of already dropped a tip there, but what are some of Inside Gaming's top tips for fitness in 2015?
Oh, golly gosh.
Come on, Joel.
Like fitness
Wake
tips?
up early in the morning and go to the fucking gym. Don't do it after work.
I don't know.
Really?
No one,
I like
no one's
working out.
I
gonna do
disagree
that.
because I go after work.
I can't,
Anyway, that's-
I can't do it. See, but that's the thing. That's my tip. Is that if I wait until after work to do it, I'm not going to go.
Build on that tip. Take some time to figure out who you are, whether you're
And
an
then-
after work,
and then do
a
something you
before
wanna
work,
do.
or a
Know
during
thyself.
work.
During work.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that was Ed Grimley Jr. said that.
To abstract it out, my particular tip would be try a lot of different routines. Because you're not going to know something that's going to work for you, and somebody may come up to you and say, listen, this worked for me, this is the surefire way to do it, and you try it for a week and it's not sustainable for you, try something else.
There is
Work out at a different
there is
time,
no
try a
cure-all
diet.
answer.
Except for the cookie diet. Have you
Yeah,
guys done the
don't
cookie
do
diet?
Oh yeah, cookie diet works every time.
Yeah.
Consistency is another very important
Consistency.
part for Matt Peak. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, I agree with that. And to Lawrence's point, there is a turnover, a chemical turnover in your brain that when you exercise, it will reward you with endorphins, right? It will say, that was awesome. We should do that more. That felt great.
No, not the first time.
Like, not the first time,
gonna
and
suck.
probably not the first 20 times. I think they said, like, I read a study recently that said about like 3 weeks is when your
Really?
brain turns over.
Ugh.
But if you can
long
go
time.
to the gym 3 times a week
Life is
for
longer.
3 weeks, after the end of that 3rd week is when your brain should turn over, and then you'll start feeling better about it. But you
also
have to maintain that routine.
Another tip, which is a little bit also, I mean, it's easier than going to the gym, is learning how to cook for yourself.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
And
Bruce disagrees with this
I
one.
absolutely disagree.
well,
Different things for different people.
Different
Different
Yeah.
things to different people.
I guess
These are our
different
individual
people, but, like-
tips, so whoever you like more,
Well, hang
agree
on,
with
hang on.
them.
Wait, shut up for a second. Bruce, your thing works for you because it's A, for you, but also B, you're super disciplined. You intake a lot of calories, but you go to the fucking gym and you work out. I think if you did what you were doing before you got in the habit of working out, you'd be a fat fucker because of the number of calories you
I
intake.
wish. Yeah, no, I mean, but not really. I mean, and that's the thing is that I've noticed that the less I work out, the less calories I intake.
Yeah.
And that's because my body is telling me not to do that. So it's
Well, you're
Bruce-
way more disciplined than
Well, Bruce is very informed, so like even the places he likes, the Chipotles, the Zankus, all of
so
these,
good.
he picks like plates that are very filling,
Yeah.
very like protein centric. I'm not a carb versus protein kind of whatever, but he picks things that are very protein centric, and while they may be calorically dense, are going to fill him up for a really, really, really long time.
I also don't snack. That's another important part. I don't snack. I eat fucking balance bars.
But
I eat
snacking,
What's a snack?
snacking actually does work for other people if it's
Sure,
a
yeah,
snack.
absolutely.
Like for me, I keep nuts at my desk.
Yeah, but what do you eat?
Pistachio puckers.
Well, I feel like the crux here is that Bruce eats very well. He eats out, but he only eats like 3 things.
Yeah.
So that's not going to work for everybody.
So learn to
Right.
cook.
Yeah, ish.
and
Well, that's
you
also just a
you
way of
also know
saving
what's-
money.
Everything that's going into your food at all times, you control how it tastes. You will make things that you like, and it'll even if you make fatty stuff at home, it will be healthier than that. Like going to Cheesecake Factory and eating
true.
chicken Florentine.
Here's the thing though. If you really honestly start to sort of look at the foods that are healthy, you're going to be eating the same thing. And you're going to be eating a
true.
lot of the same thing, which is like some hot sauce, some chicken, broccoli, and rice.
Dude, sriracha
There's gonna be
will go a
right.
long
Sriracha's-
way.
Yeah, hot sauce,
and that's
key.
like what you said. He's like, you eat the same 3 things. You're totally right. I do. But if you decide you want to eat healthy and you decide you want to cook for yourself, you're going to end up cooking very, very
He's
similar
right.
things. There aren't many variations on healthy things. Now that said, in terms of
They can be prepared a lot of
what
different
barbecue, not
ways.
even barbecue sauce, what hot sauce do you to put on your chicken today? You know,
No,
like-
there's things like fucking make a quiche.
I opened
You
a
make
can of
a
worms.
fucking like fancy quiche for yourself if you want to. You can make all kinds of stuff. You can
But-
make
but-
a pie.
but who's going to
like-
do that every day?
Well, no, not every day,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I mean,
That's what I mean.
Cook in bulk, separate into individual servings. There's a lot of approaches.
Yeah.
But the
been-
key
Cook and
is-
bulk thing doesn't work for me.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does for
I
me.
waste
love-
food.
I love having leftovers.
I do. Like I get. If
Joel's a
I
neat
cook
little man.
Pot of chili. I'll eat it for 3 days. And I'm like, I have so much fucking chili left. Oh my god.
Because you hate repetition.
Bring the chili in. I'll eat it.
yeah.
No,
just
you
serve
eat
the
chili. There's no way I'm letting Bruce eat chili in a little close.
Remember,
You're a chili Scrooge.
remember the guacamole I made for the Smash Brothers
no.
party?
Yeah.
Oh, that was good guac.
I still have it.
No, get it.
I made way too much.
How brown
Bring
is
it
it?
in.
How brown is
It's
it?
getting pretty brown.
There was a point after I think it was 2 days after your guac. We went and got some guac from Albertsons, a grocery store, and it was such a small portion that at one point I crossed my arms and go, if this was Adam's guac, we'd have plenty of guac.
My trick there too was I live in downtown LA, and there's this place called the Grand Central Market. You can get like 8 avocados for like $1.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Whereas like you go to another grocery store, it's like,
avocados.
what's that?
They're actually eggs.
No,
Well, I'm saying
that's why. No
you
wonder.
go to like Albertsons or something
You
like
wait
that.
long enough, any egg becomes an avocado.
Ew. Either way, there are ways of saving money and all that fun stuff too.
Yeah, you have to be adaptable.
Yeah. I'm probably not the person to ask about weight loss or how to stay healthy because I go back and forth all the time.
Yeah, but you stay really healthy.
I
the
try
thing is,
to.
you stay really, really. I mean, in terms of your shape, you've improved vastly in the last 2 years.
Aw.
Here's a tip too, and Adam can take this for himself as well. Don't fixate on a number.
That's true. That's my
number
problem.
one. Think about how you feel. And how you feel about yourself, like just how you feel in general, and then when, like, say you look in the mirror and you're like, I fucking look better. Doesn't matter if you weighed yourself 6 months ago and you weigh the same. If you feel like you are looking better and you're feeling better about yourself, it's a different thing if you get out of bed and then you look at yourself and you go, damn, I am like fine 400-pound like sexy man.
And
That's-
yeah,
like,
it's
that's-
also not
And
like,
except that you're out of breath just saying that, and you're looking at the ceiling because you can't get out of the bed.
It was a long sentence.
Then maybe
Compound
you should reconsider your perception on things. But still,
Well,
whatever.
you can.
Or fuck it.
One thing that could facilitate your journey into fitness in 2015 is a website in Squarespace. I don't even know how. Just
Really?
Just document
Okay,
it.
yeah, sure.
Put it out there publicly for us all to see your progress.
oh
Yes.
yeah, we'll watch your journey.
Just take pictures of your dick every day
shave
and then
the weapon.
upload them.
Please don't do that.
So Squarespace.
I almost said something terrible.
No, please don't do it. He's in the middle of an ad.
Squarespace is a sponsor of the Inside Gaming Podcast, and they recently launched the latest version of their platform, Squarespace 7, which has a completely redesigned interface, integrations with Getty Images and Google Apps, 15 new templates, and an incredible feature called Covered Pages. Squarespace would ask you to try the new Squarespace today with a free trial at squarespace.com and enter code INSIDE at checkout to get 10% off your first purchase. We've said it before, but I'll say it again. If you want a job in media at all, you need something on the internet. Squarespace is a great way to make
Nude
that
pics.
thing. Yeah, nude pics, sweet ripped abs, but just video. Like if you want to get into video, you got to show people video. Can't tell you how many times people ask us, "How do I get a job doing your thing?" We always just say, "Do our thing and show us."
Yeah.
And then that doesn't happen. So if you want to, I don't know, start your career, maybe if you're getting near the end of high school or college, it's a great idea. Get that ball rolling now. Once again, that's squarespace.com/inside. New tool, Squarespace 7, Getty Images, 10% off. Thank you, Squarespace.
I actually need to do that. It's not really.
Oh, we're definitely going to do it.
It's not really a story, but like so I think I could admit this. I've done some work on the side.
How dare
You
you?
told this story before.
Have I told you?
Yeah, you actually did this after an entry, too.
I did really? Okay. I'm just getting repetitive.
Yeah,
but
no, you're
well, no,
with your own-
so the thing's coming up again. This is.
Phobic.com.
I told you about this, right?
It's like a
So I
headshot.
told you about the VO thing.
Yes.
Okay, so well, anyway, so that thing popped itself up again, and they're like, "Hey, why don't you do more for VO?" And I'm just like, "God damn it, I need to like I need to have a professional website, so I'm gonna give it to Joel and Lawrence to make.
What's up, Spool?
He's like, welcome to AdamVio.com.
Stupid.
He'll find a way to make it like all flash and play some like annoying jazz music in the background. Like when you go to a restaurant
It's a
and all you want to
saxophone
do.
gif. That's just
Welcome to my site.
It's just gonna.
My site.
It's just
Welcome
gonna.
to my site.
It's gonna be an FAQ about Counter Strike.
Have you won a game of gun game yet?
Yeah, no, it's just Has Adam won yet? No. Sad.
All right, so we had a nice long holiday break.
Oh boy.
2 weeks.
Yep.
Off of work.
2 weeks.
That's plenty of time for us to have done interesting things and talk about them.
Yeah, you're looking at it.
Right?
We played Smash Brothers together.
And I played gun game a lot. Couldn't.
We played Smash Brothers together, and we did
that was great.
YouTube karaoke.
Dance party.
Oh wait, yeah. So explain my party.
These hips do not stop moving.
Explain Adam's party for me.
I'm curious.
It's gun game. All right. So
Well, no,
I played Smash Brothers.
I'm curious what you guys saw.
we had a party at Adam Kovic's house.
It was the life.
Graciously, him and his wife invited us over.
Can I
Best
interrupt you
evening
for a
of
second?
the-
Yes.
Last time we talked about parties, the audience hated it. Just letting you know.
Wait, was that
They
Lawrence's
were like, I
party?
want to hear about your fucking parties. Oh, there was so many.
They didn't like our parties. All right.
Are you listening to that one or two comments or
I
was that?
masturbated a lot.
No, I
There.
got like 20.
That's what I did during the break.
What's chat say?
96.
All right, got it. Let's go.
That's what they're saying.
96% approval rating. Let's talk about parties.
3, 2, 1.
They're all watching games done quick anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I beat Wolfenstein on Christmas Day.
Oh, did you?
I absolutely did.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Fucking awesome.
I beat GTA 5 over the holidays.
Oh, nice.
I never actually beat the story. I had to go turn on the game and then check to see if I had beaten the story. And I hadn't. So,
You'd be forgiven for not.
What ending did you go with?
well, I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't.
Oh yeah, so I'll let you know. At the end of GTA 5, you can choose to kill one of the main 3 characters, right?
Look, I'm not saying this. He's
what
saying
the fuck, dude? I just said we shouldn't spoil it.
No, you said you didn't want to spoil it, so I said I will say it. The game has been out for a year and a half.
That's true, it has.
You have time
Yeah,
to
but
play.
you're not going to spoil Dance of Dragons.
Well,
for people
hold
who
on.
Watched the.
Also, I just beat it.
Well, you guys are already getting.
So
off
you
topic.
would have spoiled it for me if this was like 2
Anyway,
weeks
Adam's
ago.
party was actually a ton of fun. I
You
got
just
there.
said we shouldn't talk about parties.
I say, you know what? Fuck the audience.
Okay.
I don't respect them anyway.
They're pulling money from our
Did we just talk
Patreon.
about how we
Love you guys.
Yeah,
Please don't
talk
ever
about how we
leave us.
respect the
Please don't.
audience.
Joel never touches me.
They seem to be mixed on parties. Whether they like them or fuck them.
Okay, well.
Do they know what a party is?
We played Smash Brothers and did YouTube karaoke.
You know
Yeah,
what?
that's about it.
On the subject of moderation, just go hang out with your friends and play Smash Brothers with them.
Yeah, it was fun.
And
Let's
then
do it
sing
standing
YouTube
up.
Videos.
On treadmills.
My favorite moment of the party, besides the entire thing, so it was super fun. Actually,
you.
it was 2 parts. One was when Adam's neighbors who were putting
Oh,
together
yeah.
IKEA furniture came inside and they gave them a tour, and they didn't sing or talk to anybody except for Adam and Jess. It was very sweet.
It was intimidating.
Well, we invited them over, but go ahead. I'll tell
And
you.
my second favorite part was at the end of the night. Adam played an Adele song.
I did?
Because someone asked for karaoke for Adele, and Adam, like after 30 or 40 seconds, turned around, I was like, "This is just a fucking music video. Why are we just listening to Adele? This isn't karaoke." And I said, "It's my girlfriend singing." And he said,
Whoa! He didn't realize that Dana was singing?
"Yeah."
Dana's an incredible singer.
She's got a great
That's
voice.
Something that I learned, and man.
I don't.
Though she doesn't know the rap part to Dark Horse by Katy Perry.
Oh, how dare her!
Sorry.
You need to get rid of that.
Sorry.
She's done.
Okay.
You're out, Dana.
Joel had a bit of a party as well. Hosted New Year's Eve.
Joel did have a bit of a party.
Oh yeah,
The
that was
party I was not invited to.
Oh, for fun. It wasn't a party.
awkward.
It
Yeah,
was
the party I
dinner
was not
and board
invited to.
game.
Were you
He served
invited
a
to the party?
delicious
I was
roast.
absolutely invited to the party.
You invited everybody but me.
I thought you were still out of town.
Yeah, we're-
I thought you were still out of
Unbelievable.
town, which is why when I didn't see
told
your
you.
name on
Here's
the
the thing.
text message,
No.
I
Lawrence
was like,
is my only friend. Lawrence walked by as I was sitting in my living room. I think it was on. Was it New Year's Eve? I think.
Yeah, it was that day.
Yeah,
I
and
was
Lawrence was
like,
like, "I'm
surely you're
going to
invited."
Joel's. You going to Joel's?" And I was like, "Joel's?
It was like the day before, and
What are you
Adam.
talking about?" And he's all, "No, yeah, Joel's having a little thing."
Well, Instagram is
What? In our defense, Lawrence only found out about it because I thought Lawrence was still out of town too, and when I found out he wasn't, I was like, "Oh, I think Lawrence is in town. We should get him in on this," because there was a text chain
We were trying to
between the
coordinate
3 of us.
anime watch party before we went to Joel's.
And then I was like, oh, Lawrence is in town. But we thought you were still out of town.
I was in town.
And so Lawrence was like, sure, I'll come. But I guess he didn't mention anything to you about it. We just
Supposed to
assumed.
just be like, oh my god.
We keep forgetting that even though you guys live together, you basically lead entirely separate lives.
That's my fault.
so-
I cocoon up in my room a lot.
No, that's not your fault. We both do the same.
Well, at no point did one of us look at each other and go, "I'm really glad Bruce isn't here."
Of
Yeah.
course not. I know you guys.
It's
Yeah.
one of those things.
I'm still mad at Joel.
Like
There
this
was a
hap-
place setting for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was.
That's
This
real
happens
nice.
a lot where everyone assumes that everyone knows everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Yeah.
something falls through the cracks. Like
You know who wasn't invited? Sean Poole.
Well, we knew he wouldn't show
Yeah,
up.
we knew he wasn't around.
he was
I
playing.
was in the airplane.
Oh, that's a different party.
Nobody was invited. It was dinner, and then it was a party. It was never supposed to be a party. And I didn't want
You
people.
didn't invite Matt Peak either.
Oh.
I didn't invite anybody.
I actually,
True.
I actually,
over the holidays?
It's actually
New
true.
Year's?
Adam,
He wasn't in
Oh,
town.
he's in
you know who you never blame Raz? Adam texted me and James and said, "Hey, I
that's
don't want to
true.
do anything for New Year's.
That's
do you guys
true.
just want to have dinner and some board games?"
I was,
That's true.
I was
That's how the
actually-
text began.
Screw you.
Well, so is that his fault?
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, I guess the text
What?
started with Adam.
Well, because I was just
I don't
gonna.
know who to be mad at.
I put out the feeler of like, hey, would you guys be down for this? Like, I don't want to imply anything, like make a huge party or anything. Like, I didn't want to volunteer Joel's place.
Oh, I get it.
But I knew we were gonna have the Smash Brothers party a few days later,
at
so
your house, yeah.
I was like, you guys don't want to go to my place 2 nights in a
Does Twitch
row.
chat say this is a party or not?
Joel?
Oh, it was a party. I can tell you, having been there, it was a party.
It was a party?
Yeah, Benson and Billy were both there.
Oh,
Come on.
They were really cute together.
that was fun.
They put on little dog party hats and they were like dancing.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Oh, it
What
was
would,
great.
Yeah. I was at the airport, sitting at the super shuttle, like pickup thing, waiting for my super
Spool
shuttle.
wins.
That's a different
This
party.
is a different
doing it
party.
around
We're not
New
talking-
Year's.
Is it a
talking about
different
talking about
party?
New Year's.
How many parties do you guys have?
As many as we could without you.
Spool, what did you do for New Year's?
I went to a friend's house
And?
had alcohol.
Ooh. Do your parents know?
What kind? I had 2 screwdrivers. and
Sparkling grape juice?
A couple.
Who'd you kiss at New Year's?
Raised,
Who did I kiss at New Year's or Spool?
I kissed myself. I didn't kiss anybody.
Oh,
Love
I told you,
that's
I don't
really
have a
nice.
significant other to bring to your orgy parties anymore.
It wasn't an orgy.
It was a key
Well,
party.
You weren't there,
It
so.
looked like an orgy.
Call a spade a spade.
Still have a few cards.
Yeah, James Spader was there.
It was awesome. He told us all the Ultron secrets.
Ooh.
It was a great party.
I wish I was there.
It wasn't. He was kind of depressing.
You know, wish you were there.
So I'm sure some of us went home. Maybe.
Yep.
What?
Any revelatory stories to share? I ended up spending
Oh, I see.
my night in my parents' house.
Christmas
Christmas Eve.
That's okay.
With my sister drinking Texas vodka and watching home movies and just being like, God, what happened?
Wait.
You got older.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that good or bad? Were you reminiscing, or did you?
A little bit of both. It's one of those like, man, everything got messy at some point.
Yes.
What?
It's called pubic hair.
Yeah.
This is with your sister?
Yeah. Yep, we had a bunch of all the old VHSs and then just
We did that too.
got kind of drunk and just started
My dad showed 2 hours.
making out.
My dad showed
Yeah.
us the 2 hours. Oh, so it was me and like the rest of my like sister and our other like nieces and stuff like that. And he busted out this video. We watched for a whole like 2 hours. Sean Poole from age 0 to 1, and we just watched VHS.
To 1?
Yeah.
You're not
Wow.
really
It was
interested.
a whole year. That's why my sister's like, "When do I come in there?" Because he kept being
They're like,
"Kirsten,
fuck
shut up."
you.
He's like, he kept telling my sister like, "Kirsten, you're coming up quick. You're gonna be in here. I got some stuff for you." She's literally the last 30 seconds of the last.
That,
day.
no, I got that too. I, being the younger son, had that same thing. My parents converted. They had like a bunch of like 8mm stuff that they took somewhere, converted it into a DVD, and then showed us the DVD. And after about 45 minutes of just watching my brother, like as a toddler and infant, then it shows me as a newborn baby, and then me at like 3 years old. We're like, yeah, we got it.
It's exhausting keeping up with your children, you know?
Well, Spool.
So you get it all out of your system with the first one.
Yeah.
Spool, what'd you do from 0 to 1?
Shit.
So
Team
the only
Fortress.
part I wanted to see in this whole video is supposedly, I've been told this forever, that way before I could like walk or do anything else, my parents taught me to slide on my stomach as a toddler.
That's adorable.
Like
Slide
a
on my
penguin?
stomach down the stairs because they had this staircase and they wanted me to get up and down it without having to like.
Were you wearing a
carry
little
it.
hat while you were like flopping
No.
up?
They didn't want to have to
I-
bring their child from upstairs to downstairs, so they taught it
this is how
to
he
slide
explained it to me.
itself.
So
What?
They trained.
Head first every
Dinner's
step.
ready.
They trained me to climb up to the top of the stairs, turn around so my butt was facing, or like my legs were facing down, and I
Oh.
just slid down on my stomach.
Did they now by train? Did they like have a whistle?
Apparently, I whistled before I could talk as a baby.
Oh, look at
You know those dogs that when they get
skills.
injured, they basically put their haunches in a little cart and then they paddle around. I'm imagining young Spool like that, where he's just kind of like sloshing his way everywhere on his belly, It's like a snake or something like that.
was a
Except it's a
penguin.
little infant
He was
with
a-
a trucker hat on.
He was an emperor
like
penguin.
feedback?
I just feel like it was an intricate like suicide thing. Like, let's just
Get him to kill himself.
yeah, we get the insurance,
Oh, that's a-
the baby insurance.
Smart play, Pool family.
Did that piss?
Well, I think we've shared enough of our.
Absolutely.
yeah.
This episode of the Inside Gaming Podcast is also sponsored by Loot Crate, which is a monthly subscription box service for epic geek and gamer items and pop culture gear. For less than $20 a month, you get 6 to 8 items that include licensed gear, apparel, collectibles, unique one-of-a-kind items, and more. With the start of 2015 upon us, we being them, they wanted the first crate of the new year to celebrate the geek and gaming icons from the past. Join them as they rewind and give you exclusive items from Star Wars and Voltron,
Ooh, Voltron.
which are old.
Very
That's
old.
not all, but we're also bringing you some. They're also bringing you some epic geek apparel, including an exclusive and licensed shirt, so you can kick off the new year in style. Finally, get ready to decorate your desk with an awesome retro gaming-inspired mashup figure. You have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe to receive that particular crate. After which, it'll switch over to the next month's with different branded apparel and whatnot. So go to lootcrate.com/inside and use code INSIDE to save 10% on any new subscription. Thank you, Nate.
Loot Crate.
Boy, I
Crate.
fucked that up.
That's
huh?
okay. Thank you.
Right at
Loot
the
Crate.
end. Thank you,
Man,
Loot Crate.
We knew what you meant.
We have a quick Loot Crate story. Remember?
Right.
When they say one of a kind items, they mean one of a kind.
So
James got the bloodlust.
So for our Christmas party, I guess it was the office Christmas party, or the last day we were here, they handed out
talking about parties.
They handed out loot crates to everyone. We were here working, like hardworking people, and so they were like walking around giving us all these loot crates, and we noticed that they came with these Mega Man helmets, and there's 4 colors: red, blue, green, and gray. No one had a gray one. Everyone got every single color except for the gray one. So we found the stack of loot crates that people didn't claim. What was it? Like what? 75 boxes?
There's a
maybe?
lot of
Maybe not 75, but a lot.
There were a lot.
I would say there were probly close to 30 boxes.
Really? I felt like way more than that.
They're tough to get open sometimes.
So we went in and opened
Hands are all bloody.
so many boxes trying to find this gray helmet.
Could not find a gray one.
Was not a single gray helmet.
Nope.
We did
we had all the other colors though.
So they have-
just not the gray one.
There are rare items.
I got a little
I
fixated.
was gonna say that
Started screaming.
James went home and cried.
Started
While you guys were
screaming.
doing that, I went on eBay and people were selling the helmets individually for way more than the cost of an individual nature box.
Wow.
Loot Crate.
You
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Oh, let's look at fan art.
Lawrence broke.
Please do.
But then also we have a friend who used to work here, Rachel. She used to work at Machinima. She now works at Loot Crate. And I contacted her and said, "Can you give James
we
a gray
cheated.
helmet?"
So we
cheated.
Had to ask for a gray
Well,
one.
I got as James like as a present. Like, here you go, buddy. Like, hey, we were working hard for this, and he was like, "Whatever, I'm over it."
No, that's not true. I got it, immediately put it together, and then I
Sold it on
revealed that
eBay?
I'd forgotten where the other colors were. So now I just have blue and gray.
Let's move on to the fan art because I want to look at this picture of me.
Yeah, I just realized this is going to be torture for the stream because they can't see this. Well, you'll just have to watch it on YouTube.
Could.
I can pull it up.
No.
Oh, because
It'll be a surprise.
it'll break.
Yeah, it also will break. So from Reddit user Link, we've got Bruce screaming yes, also looking like an Amish man.
But yeah, why didn't you draw his mustache? That's what I want to know.
I look like Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, why?
You saw my follow-up one,
Yeah,
right?
you're-
We all
yeah,
saw your
amazing.
follow.
Your follow's amazing.
Oh, I didn't see the follow.
Well, Jessica and Adam combined to make Abraham Lincoln.
Huh.
And I got shot in a
Yeah,
theater.
so it's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
basically
that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's great.
Oh,
That's
that's
great.
beautiful.
Nice job, Lincoln.
Send that to me. And then we got Inside Gaming Time.
Oh, that's
Oh,
amazing.
amazing. This is so amazing.
Makes me wish that I watched Adventure Time.
I know.
Dude,
I
you
know.
know what to-
No,
We already discussed this at one of the parties.
No, I remember. It just still shocks me.
So you have too many parties to forget.
I'm jealous that I'm not in that one.
Yeah, that's really, really good.
I like Bruce's little fart.
I in it? No.
Oh, yeah.
David didn't like it. He's never even watched it.
No, that's not true. I have watched it.
I watched
Just didn't get into it.
Don't watch it.
Stupid.
But the art's awesome.
Either way, the fan art's awesome. Yeah.
Jack Verde, Mr. Jack Green, Drew.
All right, hold on.
Whoa.
This is a
Wait.
two-parter, right?
Adam is not sucking somebody's penis because that's not a penis.
No, he's
No.
licking his abs.
He's licking his abs.
Oh, I thought it was a penis.
This was an exchange.
Oh, that's my tongue.
Adam gave the particular artist some feedback after drawing our favorite actor.
What did I say? The abs were too real?
They're
looking?
too real. yeah.
And then he clarified by adding you with a little, I guess, maybe a little censorship bar in the form of your tongue running along his abs. And
Maybe.
I think it works a lot. Also, how did they know you have a freakishly long tongue?
Yeah.
I don't know how he found that out.
Weird.
I don't
We
like
go a
it.
long extent to hide that. ALB Craft drew us in the style of Rooster Teeth animated.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Hey, yeah, that's awesome.
So
Oh,
neat.
yeah, the Rooster Teeth.
One day.
I like how
Booster
yet again,
Teeth, he called it.
even with a series of lines and dots, Adam has the impassive blank stare.
Yeah, I know.
James is happy. Bruce is smirking.
It's like James just ate some food or something.
I'm storing it in my cheeks
All
for
over
the
your-
winter.
No, but it's all over your face.
Oh, yeah.
Your
Well, let's just put it out here. For fan art purposes, you can draw me without any facial hair. I understand that I'm lazy. I don't shave regularly, but they're the bearded ones.
Usually, yeah.
And then the rest of us are the not bearded ones. So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
This requires further explanation.
No, even spool.
Well, yeah,
You
whatever.
just give me my creepy molester.
I do like it though. Whenever anyone gives Joel like the Castilian like
I do like
Yeah.
that. He looks like a pirate.
like Spanish swordsman
Yeah.
ring. Swagtastic YOLOs did some
Nice.
You gonna die now?
That's awesome. No,
Go crying in the corner.
I can't wait to play that game again.
That's it. It was a lot of fun.
How many players total? You can do
4,
8?
I think. Was it 8?
I think you can do 8.
I thought it was 8, but
when
I
I
could be
played
wrong.
it was 4, but that was like a year ago.
Yeah.
Massimiliano wore 5. Drew a little pencil sketch of Adam.
Kind of looks
So
like
masculine.
like a young version of Snake or something like
He's
that.
about
Yeah.
to murder
Look at that eye, the look he's giving the camera.
Yeah.
Deep sketch.
It looks to me like it's okay. What this says to me is there's someone chained to a pipe, and Adam is about to do something terrible to him.
Yeah, well.
And there's almost a look of pity there, but also like you have to understand there's nothing left. In
I have to do it.
That's
yeah.
good.
I have to do it.
You don't want to know how we got to this point, but we're here
Exactly,
now.
right? Like I would like to believe we live in a world where I'm not about to do this to you, but I am, and it doesn't even bother me.
Wow.
So it sucks for you. Yeah, that's you, buddy.
I'm gonna save that.
art.
I'm gonna
Like Jack
save that
Bauer.
line.
That's fucking awesome.
Pretty much. Now that's a Sandra. Did it 4 up?
Yeah, it's awesome. I like the light on Bruce's face.
Yeah, that was great. Lawrence is my favorite though, because the tight shirt.
That's such a
Lawrence
weird
doesn't
body.
normally look like that. He's just wearing a really tight shirt.
But you know what that's from,
This is what I
right?
look like.
yeah, no, I remember
Yeah,
when
the-
he
wore that
photo's
women's
amazing.
medium shirt.
Yeah, but he sucked in his. He went like this. He sucked in his gut. So
Yeah.
like that's not like he didn't.
He's got the
That's
Jack-
not what Lawrence normally.
Well, he was
looks
also wearing,
Jack
what was it?
LaLanne
It was a
body.
medium girl
It
shirt.
was medium
Yeah.
performance.
Yeah, which, I mean, everyone's got to suck it in to wear that thing.
No, that's okay. That's right. I just
Which wasn't that from a loot crate?
Yeah.
Yes, it
Oh,
was.
yeah, it was.
Aha!
It was. It absolutely was.
And Adam's arms are fucking huge.
You see his face though?
Love it.
Yeah, those
He's making an
forearms.
expression. That's nice.
It's his pains.
Yeah. Look, I can emote.
James looks like somebody from Frisky Dingo.
She said she was working on me and Joel still.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, you getting worked on, boy.
Drunken Pew or Vlad. Oh boy.
Sherbina.
Sherbina? Yeah, it is Sherbina. Drew.
Oh, nice.
Drew's is Pokemon.
Are we Pokemon? Is
but
that what we are?
Playing. It's. I know it's from Smash.
Anytime I
'cause
see-
you're Jigglypuff,
Jigglypuff.
and you're farting, and you're very mad.
Yeah.
And there's like a can of beer in your crotch, I think. And I think I'm
Are you-
Turtle.
Yeah. Who's Squirtle?
I think it's me.
that-
Who's the?
Does it have a hat?
No wait, is that James?
Who's in the background?
It might be me, and then that looks like.
I don't know what the get it out thing is all about.
Well, I got
That's
stabbed in
obviously
the
Adam because
eye.
you're getting stabbed in the eye with the microphone.
That's-
What I love most are the fan arts that are almost clear references, but not quite.
Artistic liberty.
Because I assume that they were drawn in class somewhere.
Yeah.
And they forgot
So
about it.
they started with one line, and they assumed that they would have gotten bored, but they never got hooked back by the teacher during the lecture, and so it just, all right, well I drew this, now I should add this thing here, now this thing here, and it grows and it evolves into something that we don't even recognize.
I just like that Bruce as a character is either screaming or propelling himself with his own
With a
flashlights,
fart.
or doing both.
That's awesome.
Which is my favorite combination.
Bruce's 2 dimensions.
Bruce is already a cartoon.
Screaming and farting.
Smosh Lover 007 or Ruhan Sheik. Frequent submitter.
Oh yeah.
Finally went whole ham with James.
Yes!
That's really great.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good.
I like the one ear, though.
yeah.
It's like the dad from Alias who had the one giant ear for no reason. Did anyone watch
I know what
Alias?
he's talking about. Yeah, I watched Alias. I know what he's
The
talking about.
father in Alias had like one giant ear.
It's a rough reference.
It was weird though.
I don't know why that inspired that thought though, because that's a pretty normal sized ear.
Is that the?
Oh, no, but it's just-
is that
but it
the
like
show-
sticks out.
Yeah,
That's how
or
most
it's,
of my
it's like
ear
a like a
Is that the
Stephen.
show with
Oh, yeah,
Electra?
you're right. It's up
But
there.
he's slightly cocking his head to this.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
show
yeah,
with
yeah.
Electra.
Everyone's favorite Electra. Chris Watts, Christopher on Twitter. Just drew kind of a nice interpretation of you guys.
That's fun.
And you almost have a human expression.
Almost.
You got good teeth. Nice, bright, white teeth.
Now, James, do your face.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Has a nice face.
I trust that
I look
face.
like Alfred E. Newman.
You do. Wow, you really do.
Sandy Murray 90 at DeviantArt drew Adam in Spartan armor.
That's definitely a Tim Heidecker face on an Adam Kovic.
Is it? I know that's from. I think
Yeah.
that's that was a face I was making at PAX.
I think so too.
I think it was in a video.
I've definitely seen that face before.
Isn't it-
Oh yeah, so have I. But I mean, like it's
usually-
also
Isn't
cinematic.
that one of the green screen faces?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, maybe
that's what it is.
You're like,
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I work with those frequently. So
Yeah.
that,
You got it, Spool. Allison Engel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I really like his
AE
style.
Kelson on Twitter. Drew, you
Now-
guys.
Whoa.
I like
animate a whole show that.
James with a
Yeah,
little-
James he's the only one that's got a muscle.
Kinda, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Wow.
Ah.
I
Just a
think it's
little
in the
bit.
wrong part of your arm, though.
Yeah,
Down here?
tattoos a little lower, but that's
You know,
what I mean.
you know what I like most about this?
All right.
What?
It looks like Psychonauts concept art.
It does, doesn't it?
Move on.
It's dead. I hate it now.
CJ, whoa.
I'm just
CJ
kidding, I
Cool
love it.
On DeviantArt. Do some cool stuff. I mean, zoom back out because some reason I just freaked out and zoomed in. Oh, yeah. It's
Wait, is that me?
Oh, it's Chaser.
Mary Chaserman.
Chaser in his goof suit.
Yeah, he's wearing a goof suit.
He's wearing his. He's pushing
It
his
should be covered with more bells,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
and not because of the season.
Come on, Chico.
He's got some Christmas lights wrapped around his arm.
God. Joe Chaser.
Ooh, I like the little.
Sonics 40 drew
Whoa.
a very accurate picture of James.
Whoa!
Yep, you bet.
Whoa.
Wow!
You bet.
It's like looking in a mirror, right?
Wish is my command.
You're James the Genie.
Oh, I'm the genie.
That's why you have such a huge upper body.
I'm a genie, but I only grant my own wishes, and my own wish is to be jacked.
Yeah, but your torso is huge. You look like
feel like
you
the
kind of look like
perspective is like-
old Arnold Schwarzenegger. You look like 65-year-old Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a current
or like
Arnold?
Mickey Rourke in The Wrestler.
Exactly, just like that. Just giant torso.
When you became a genie, you had to decide between being ripped and having a neck.
Yep.
And you chose ripped.
I would choose ripped every time.
That's Fancy Cholo drew
This is great.
a No Eyes logo for the IG podcast. I actually
Yeah,
really like
I like
this.
that. I like this logo a lot.
Man, this is good.
You know what could make this even cooler, even though it's already cool?
Spool.
Jets.
Oh,
by
flying
in
on the
the
side.
background.
Yeah, like oh.
Or like coming out like Blue Angel style.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, that would be good.
That's a good idea. I think he sent that one a while ago.
Yeah, he did.
And then I was like, color it.
We're watching in from the
That's
holidays
perfect.
Here, so we got a kind
Yeah.
of backlog. Reddy's are Fledge Fish. Drew us his fish.
Lawrence is still
There it is.
laptop. I'm a
There's-
goldfish.
Spool's got his little
Yeah,
cap.
Lawrence is he's on a fishing line.
I like how he drew Adam's face with just 2 lines.
Like he's angry all the
Two
time.
lines, and it completely conveys Adam's face. That's pretty fantastic.
That's yes. I love what good artists can do with very little.
I guess my face doesn't
Oh,
need
yeah,
much.
super hot
Yeah.
Machina Woman.
Henrique JJJ on Reddit.
Show it from the front.
I've been trying to figure out those. This has got to be a porno shot that
Machina
somebody
Girl?
just put
Color.
Yeah, I
Machina
know.
Girl over.
So a very good suggestion in the Reddit comments was Machina Maiden. I don't know if that's going to stick or not, but
I don't know if she's
it's
a
been
maiden.
unleashed.
Well, like Machina mating.
Machina Man can now have Johnny Tits, so make it happen. Shangan 010 drew a Christmassy scene.
I love that.
Cool, you're the female reindeer.
Oh yeah, look at your little pubic hair.
What crap?
Ew! I never noticed that.
Oh, and he's just jutting his ass out.
Bananas?
That's mistletoe.
No, those are bananas.
Yeah.
Boo-na-na.
Why do I have a banana?
Wearing a Boo-na-na
Well,
shirt.
there's
It's got a little hat of
banana. For Fedivis, there's banana donuts.
Is that
but
me?
There's no donuts there.
Is that me in
Maybe
the
they're-
Yeah, I
back?
think that's you in the back because that's Joel in the middle.
Yeah.
And Lawrence is on the
I'm on the
tree.
tip of the tree here.
But why am I pissed off?
I don't know.
Maybe pull the clock. Maybe
It's
you're
almost 1 a.m.
Don't they realize that it's Bruce that doesn't get invited to these things?
Oh, yeah, I should be in the back. You're right.
But you're wearing a
Aw.
banana shirt.
Banana.
Yeah, he's got his little Santa beard. Great. Zombie mesh.
Oh boy!
Damn it. Perfect.
too far.
Zombie mesh
Oh, nice.
drew her dreams?
Oh yeah, she's
Maybe.
dreaming of
Not
us.
sure.
I
She's got
think
freckles and
she's
girls
dreaming
have
of
freckles.
you
There
with
you go.
reindeer horns or antlers.
And a nose.
Oh, yeah,
A bright,
I saw-
shiny nose.
That one's awesome. Timely.
Scroll
I
down to
think
the
there might be a little bit of spool on the desk there, though.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right about that. I didn't notice that.
Captain Von Weasel drew the best
Ah!
James pencil I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Man, is that scary.
I can't look at it enough. I love it.
that face will be on your gravestone.
I know, kind of like Adam's face. This, like, some people just like choose a face and they're like, "Sorry, that's your
it.
face
That's
for the
it
rest of the
forever.
time."
That's the one.
I guess that's my face for the rest of the
Matt
time.
doesn't ever lie.
Just silently.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I mean. You're laughing out loud.
Flashpoint 4.
Oh,
drew
bread.
his toast.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm angry bread.
Actually, I look a lot like Powdered Toast Man.
You do.
Yeah, you do.
And Adam's brow in lack of eyebrows.
That's me.
The Sam Parts.
Oh,
This is all a Happy New Year.
This is so cool.
it's very Ren and Stimpy.
also-
Yeah, it really is.
Jerry John K.
I'll have to like this.
Bruce is yet again hovering on his farts.
Like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy.
That
My
one.
my posture is just like the best part.
Oh yeah, like your Pikachu.
My knees are just. I look uncomfortable.
Well, it's because you are. You're
Yeah.
Pikachu.
You're Pikachu.
Got these gnarled like.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like,
is that a tail?
I'm just saying, like, it hurts. Looks like it hurts to move.
Oh, that's wonderful. And then finally, got one more animation from Sniper Elite. This is gonna be very inspiring. So try not to cry.
All right.
Too late.
That's great.
Sounds like we have no audio, but
Oh, this is great. I watched this.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, this is real good.
Yeah.
The art is still wonderful.
It reminded me of when you see the storyboards for a movie
exactly
when they
what it
set
is.
it to the scene.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's a student, and this was an assignment. It'd be crazy. It still blows my mind that people would just do this with their own free time, make stuff like this. I guess that's what people with talent do. Hey!
Right in the balls.
Achtung!
I love it.
And then Adam's tattoo is the best part.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Badass Adam.
One day.
Isn't it like a teardrop?
It is, but it's a special tear.
Tear balls.
Oh, yeah, two balls.
It's got tear balls up.
Oh yeah, the credits go by really fast and the music just cuts.
Yeah.
I was like, that's real good.
Good job, Noah Patrick.
Wow.
Delightful. And with that, we have hit the end of another Instant Gaming podcast.
We've done it.
Hey.
Before we go, let us remind you that this episode is sponsored by NatureBox, which is a subscription service giving you sacks of food, which sounds appetizing.
I like sex.
Sacks of food.
Yeah, you do.
It's one of the few ways you can eat healthy as long as it's in moderation and not have to work that hard because it comes right to you. If that sounds good, go to naturebox.com/inside and get a free trial box of their 5 most popular snacks. You have to pay for shipping, a couple bucks. But hey, box of food. Who wouldn't like that? So that's naturebox.com/inside. Thank you, NatureBox. And thank you, listeners, for enduring another podcast.
Enduring.
I feel like they enjoy.
I feel like there's something we've forgotten for the past few podcasts.
What?
Finger spacing?
Too bad.
Yeah, it's a new
time.
year.
Nope, too bad.
I could probably tell it.
Nah, it's no time.
It says we got 12 minutes.
No, you need the time. You want the time. You
Yeah, we're
want.
actually
Oh,
over
really?
before
You got the
we
time.
Are we? I can tell it now.
Time to tell the story right.
I feel like I'd like to tell it now.
Sorry, my baby
Please.
still took up that time.
All right.
I gotta go to a show. And,
All right.
gotta do.
whatever.
Anyway, see you guys later.
All right.
No, I was saying people get excited for fighting games. Look at Street Fighter V. I watched
That,
the
like,
first
rear window
battle of
El
the
Camino.
Chun-Li and the Ryu.
Yeah.
I watched that and I was like, oh,
She got that ramen on her head.
that's she got noodle head. There's a bowl of it. The physics are off, but that's funny. Great. I don't know enough of the nuances there to know why I should be excited for
There
it.
was some weird stuff. I'm not gonna dig into it, but
Why not? Oh, we don't do
Yeah.
that here. We keep it
No,
surface
no,
level.
Lawrence and I
racist?
talked a little bit about
No,
it.
you keep it racist. We
I'm keeping it real.
Yeah, we can
Real racist.
There we go.